bad games. That's what we're talking about today. I assume most of you have played at least one game in your life, or multiple, and I assume you have some games that you just don't like. Whether it's just not your type of game, or it's just complete AIDS and terrible in every single way possible. That's going to be a topic for today. I thought this would be a fun idea to make a video. I have other ideas for a video, but my motivation has been kind of fucked, so I thought this would be a good little topic to focus on. Hopefully try and get back into it. But yeah, what I have for you right here is a tier list of games, and we're gonna rank them from games that are not too bad to games that are fucking horrible and that I despise, and everything in between. And this is all just my opinion. And the way I'm ranking these, it's not just like gameplay. Like, yeah, sure, it's gonna be a part of it, sort of, but it's gonna be things like the communities, or the type of game it is, or like if it has any fucking problems, or if the game is just not fun, or pay to win, or whatever. Shit like that is what we're gonna be going over. And I'm gonna be focusing on games I've played myself, and not like a list of random games that like half of them I haven't played. So I made sure to do that, and my critiques of the games should be as accurate as possible. And yeah, if you like the video, like, subscribe, whatever. But yeah, let's get into the first series of terrible games of this fucking tier list I'm working on. Let's go. Just to knock it out of the way, let's get into one, which is the one I've played the least. I've only played this like once for 2 hours, and it's League of Legends. Now, League is a MOBA, and MOBAs are not really my thing. And that's alright in itself, but League has a bit of a reputation for being a major sweatfest full of toxic players and shit. And even when like the game's like chat system whatever is moderated, like they still end up creating like whole new fucking insults and shit, just to, like, insult you or call you trash or whatever, just for like not being good. I haven't experienced any of that. I only played like one match and that was it. But I know like 3 friends who play heaps of League, and one of them, like literally half of them, describe it as like, it's like watching a crack addict like do crack, you know? Like they talk about it like they talk about the game like it's an abusive ex-wife that they, despises them, and they hate him so much and they want to leave him, but the game is like so satisfying, I guess, that they just can't stop returning. And I guess because there's probably not much of a MOBA, I don't know, there's probably other MOBA games other than League, but it's like, as I said, that's not really my genre. But yeah, when it comes to League though, I don't think it's as bad as the other games we'll be talking about. I think it's like mid tier, like, well, bad tier, but I don't think it's horrible or no, in my opinion. But yeah, VR chat. Oh boy. Okay. Now, I'm well aware I am playing VR chat right now while we're making this video, and if I was myself from a year ago, I wouldn't be touching this fucking game. Like, I'm not gonna get into all the nitty and gritty details, but I used to be a massive cuck. What? Not that. Okay. I used to be a massive chud towards VR chat, and I have my own reasons, and I have and they kind of sucked, but I ended up moving past that. But even now, VR chat is here's the thing, VR chat is also not my type of game. Like, listen, the entire game, there's not really much gameplay to it. It's not like a first-person shooter or whatever. It's like I mean, there's worlds that are like that, but it's like more of a social hub or whatever. I mean, you make friends through it and you talk to them through it, and yeah, and I do think it's really cool for that. And like, if I had actual friends who did VR chat, and I probably like hang out more with the friends that do play this, I probably would get more into it, but I wouldn't get enough into it to actually commission my Sona into the game or anything. And a lot of people like point to the horny people and degens as to why VR chat is bad, and some people also point to meta or whatever, just like making the game shit. But I mean, those two are sort of their own things, and I mean, obviously the horny people are, especially the Grimmers and stuff, that are obviously a problem. But there's another game that's got it 100,000 times worse, and the fucking corporation or company who runs the game basically protects them, and we're gonna get into that, alright? So yeah, VR chat, I used to despise this game heaps, but it's sort of grown on me a bit. I'm not super into it, it's still not exactly my thing, but I'd honestly put it at kinda okay, so kinda like the bottom of the list. Call of Duty, specifically Black Ops 7, but basically every single Call of Duty that's come out since like 2019. Call of Duty, I grew up as, I used to be more of a Battlefield fanboy than a Call of Duty fanboy, but Call of Duty still held a pretty important place in my heart. And I feel like ever since Modern Warfare 2019, they just began just marching just down into their demise, and it is really sad to see. And the reason why I feel like fucking Warzone killed Call of Duty, basically. Like, Call of Duty saw the money that Fortnite was pulling, and it wanted to be Fortnite, but it still wanted the realism and stuff of Call of Duty. So it tried to do those two things, and it failed miserably in both aspects. Like, even when like the first couple games like came out, I feel like it's still sort of forgivable, since like they still kept mostly to the theme of Call of Duty and stuff, and like actually like actually no, I feel like the last good COD game that came out was like Call of Duty's Warzone. not Warzone, fucking Call of Duty Cold War. That's it. But yeah, ever since then, it's all just been completely downhill, and fucking Black Ops. I feel like I can't think of the words for it because it's so fucking bad. But it's like fucking, they find new ways to be worse and worse than the previous Call of Duty. Like fucking, I remember that people were going like, "Oh, Black Ops 6 is shit," but hey, don't worry guys, just buy Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 is gonna be way better. And then Black Ops 7 ends up being fucking atrocious. The worst fucking slop shit I've ever seen, and you still have the coping fucking, I don't know if you call them normies or fucking just like Gen Alpha kids who still play Call of Duty, and they're just still gonna go, "Oh, he's just fucking haters, bro. Fucking Black Ops 8 or whatever the fuck was gonna be way better. Just trust in next year, bro." And I feel like if age verification existed for Call of Duty, I feel like 99% of its audience would like just disappear overnight. I'll be dead ass, but yeah, Call of Duty, it's it's not the worst, but it's definitely horrible. I'll chuck up there. Battlefield 6. Now, Battlefield 6. I feel like Battlefield 6 is going down the same route as Call of Duty, I'll be honest. Battlefield 2042 was abysmal dog shit, and I'm not talking about that game because I did not buy that game or play that game, because I know it is complete ass. But what I did do is I pre-ordered Battlefield 6, because I saw all the advertisements and stuff, and oh, it's gonna be like fucking going back to like OG Battlefield and shit, and fucking you're playing as nameless soldiers again, and fucking like basically being everything. Like they basically did the shit that Battlefield 1 did with Infinite Warfare, where, you know, it's like them going, "Oh, what? You don't like that? How Call of Duty is a jetpack game now? Now come over to us, bro." We got Boots on the Ground, and we got World War One. Yeah, they basically did that, but even more before Battlefield 6. But yeah, it's weird because they're dogging on Call of Duty for going down this path that it's gone to now. And yet, they're starting to go down the same route that Call of Duty did with 2019. Except even worse, I think, because fucking all the maps are dog shit, and, you know, Battlefield trying to be Call of Duty is kind of pretty shit if you're a Battlefield fanboy, because, you know, you like big maps and vehicles and shit, and, I mean, the vehicles exist in the game, but because almost all the fucking maps are close-quarter urban areas and shit, and the graphics are so fucking good, but also so fucked that you can't see mines because they blend in with the ground. That is kind of fucking shit. And, I haven't played Battlefield 6 in months. I dropped the game after December, honestly. As soon as I saw the Battle Pass, I just realized they were marching in the same direction as Call of Duty, and I won't put it in the same tier of badness as Call of Duty, but I'll put it a tier lower. The reason why is because I still think they could still, recover it, but honestly, I kind of doubt it, seeing how far they're leaning into the same shit that Call of Duty is doing, and they're trying to, do the Battle Royale and shit, and yeah. Let's talk about Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite is... Okay, I'll be dead ass. I'm gonna be super out of touch with this because I haven't touched the game since 2017. Well, probably not 2017. I played the game since chapter 6 or something, and when John Wick came out, and I haven't touched the game ever since. I'll be dead ass. I'm not really super into battle royales. I know the game's changed dramatically, and there's alternate modes and shit, and heaps of other shit and all that. But I feel like it's lost its identity a lot. Fortnite was still Fortnite back in the day. Yeah, they had a John Wick skin and shit, but he still had Fortnite originally, and I feel like it's all kind of just gotten washed away because they end up being able to get all the high Ps into the game, and it's just you can literally play as fucking Ellen Ripley or fucking the Demogorgon or some shit, and literally just recently, for some fucking reason, they end up adding brain rot skins, being Tung Tung Sahur or whatever. I know even the Fortnite fans fucking pissed off about that, by the way. I agree with you at that, but fucking why the fuck are brain rot AI skins in Fortnite? That's weird. But yeah, even then, Fortnite is even more just kids, so it's just not really too much of a surprise that the game's still alive, and plus of it being cartoony and all that, and the IPs and shit would fit even more into Fortnite than it would in Call of Duty or whatever. But yeah, here's the thing though, I don't think it's that bad. Battle Royales are definitely not the thing for me, but I don't think it's bad. I feel when it comes to Battle Royales, Fortnite is definitely the best, but it's still not my thing, so I'll put it in meh. So, Friend Swap. So basically, Friend Swap is games that you play with your friends, basically. That's a simple version of saying it, but there's also a bit of a reason why Friend Swap kind of sucks, and you need friends to play it. Now, that's not exactly a bad thing, I think. Lethal Company, you can still play it solo, but it's definitely not going to be the same. And even though you're playing it with your friends, even just a day or two of fun out of it, and then you just let it go, and then you completely forget about the game. That's my personal experience of Lethal Company, but it's I don't know exactly how it's with Peak or whatever, but yeah, I feel I don't think Friend Swap is too bad though. I just think it's not really much happens outside of that. But yeah, I feel I'd just chuck it into meh as well. It's not bad, but it's not really that much to be playable and stuff. And plus, you need friends to play it in the first place. So yeah, that sucks. Roblox. This game I had a long history with, and it is depressing to see it just die. Well, not die, but become the way it is now. I played the game since I was a kid. I played this shit back in like 2009 or 2010 since I was a guess. And that was when I was like, I don't even know how fucking old I was, but I was like fucking, I was like fucking 6 or something. I don't fucking know. I can't remember, but I remember I was playing this fucking stupid Lego game, and it was a banger, and I kept with it for like years, and now that same Lego game is filled with child predators, and the company who owns the fucking Lego game basically endorses and protects the child predators. Now, the games themselves within are like user created and stuff, and I mean, some are still fun, but I've basically completely abandoned the game last year just because how fucking fucked the company is. Like David Baszucki, or what the fuck his name is, just valuing money and protecting nonces over the safety of children on the same site that I also been groomed on, which is also fucked. Yeah, I've found this into a massive no. Fuck Roblox. Fuck the company who owns it. Why do I keep on saying that? I think Roblox owns Roblox. I'm a fucking retard or whatever. But yeah, fuck that game and fuck everything about it. Okay, I don't want to see that shit ever again. Dead by Daylight. I also used to be super into Dead by Daylight, but this was more recent. This was back in 2020, I think. I didn't have a PC yet, so I was playing this on the PS4, and I ended up getting the game for free through the PSN thing, since it was a free game at the time. But my god. The game has a lot of problems, and over time the game has now has even worse problems. So basically the balancing is fucked, the community is toxic, always has been, but it's gone way worse. The entire game is fucking pay to win now. Like fucking 99% of the killers are fucking locked behind a paywall. And same for all the fucking survivors, which there's even more survivors, and you have to pay the same amount for a survivor as you would a killer, even though the survivors don't have their own abilities or anything. It's just fucking stupid. And even then, there's still fucking cosmetics that you can buy for the characters on top of that, which is also stupid. And to make it even worse, all the characters fucking have their own perks and shit, which a lot of them are like some are meta, but some are also fun to fuck with, and especially if it's a DLC character, you're not able to get that shit for free. Like, and even then, like, you could, in theory, you could like grind the game a fuck ton and unlock everything for free. But even then, that's gonna take you hours, and you still can't unlock the license killers either, which is fucked. And even then, like, playing killer in game is miserable, and playing survivor is fucking miserable unless you have friends. And everyone plays with friends as survivors, which makes killer even more miserable. I'm throwing this into no as well. I don't think it's as bad as Roblox. Like, I mean, the game doesn't have child predators or anything, but I mean, the entire game, like, you basically have to spend like $300 just to have everything right off the bat, and even then, you still have to do a bunch of grinding, which is stupid. But yeah, let's talk about a game I fear is marching in that same direction, or similar direction. That game will be Helldivers. Helldivers 2. Now, Helldivers 2 is a lot more different than DBD. It is a horde shooter, and it's basically PvE, so you play with 3 other guys, and you're focused on, killing everything, and doing objectives, and, you call in to get shit, which is pretty cool. And on paper, that all sounds amazing, and it is all amazing. But for some reason, the fucking devs are nerfing the game like it's PvP, even though it's a horde shooter. Like, if a gun or whatever is super good, they're gonna fucking nerf it to the ground, just because. Or even if it's something that's fun. Like, one thing I used to do heaps in the game is mushroom launch, which is like kind of my own strat that I came up with, because I didn't really see anyone else do it. But basically, some of these plants had these mushroom plants, which if you shoot them, they knock you over and stun you. But before they got patched, you could actually use them to like launch yourself. And it could be like a massive like movement advantage sort of, and even if it isn't the most reliable or the best method of doing it, it was still fun. And they nerfed that. And they nerf heaps of other shit as well, and they do it all to make the game more realistic, but realism doesn't translate to fun. Also, the community is fucking shit too. It's like, how the fuck are you gonna dox a guy for fucking giving a challenge to the devs and fucking offering to pay like 1,000 to charity if they do it? Why? What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm putting these like, I still think the game's fun, but I'm putting the fucking thing in horrible, honestly. And that's purely from the community mainly, but also because the devs nerf and everything. GTA Online. Think of Dead by Daylight, but on steroids. And everyone is like a 5-year-old who, even if you tried to like do the entire game like without paying anything, they still get incentivized to like destroy your shit. Because, haha, fun. And even then, you still have to spend a fuck ton of money on the shit you need to grind to get shit for free. yeah, I'm not explaining this one. That one goes in a no. Rust. Yeah, Rust I haven't played too much, I'll be honest. I played it like once or twice, and honestly, most of my fucking most of my criticisms for the games is gonna come through like what I've seen from it on YouTube and stuff. You need to dedicate your fucking life to like maintaining your Rust base and shit and making sure it's safe. And I don't really fucking like that with games. Like I'm not exactly casual, but I'm not exactly like a no-life gamer either. Like, yeah, sure, like playing Minecraft would be fun and building your own base with that is fun, but I don't have to like worry about having it blown up by a bunch of creepers at 3 AM who waited for me to go to sleep. Oh man, excuse me. But yeah, that's basically what Rust is. And obviously Rust also has a bit of a toxic community, but I mean, if you're, like, I'd rather a community, like, be toxic in the terms of calling you the hard R while, like, blowing up your base and teabagging you than, like, fucking doxing a guy for hosting a charity event. I still think that's bad, but that's definitely way less bad than that. And yeah, honestly, I would rank Rust in like I'd put it in bad. I don't think it's like straight up horrible or anything, but I do think it's pretty bad. Like I'd rather, like, at least you can still have a bit of fun if you're just like joining in, just like fuck around and stuff. But yeah, I just think it's bad. Team Fortress 2. Okay, it's gonna rustle some jimmies. Okay, and let me explain. TF2 is a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. I have like 1,800 hours. Okay, so I played the game heaps. I played it since 2017, and the game is pretty cool, and the community is questionable, but still alright. Not the worst. Why is it on this list? Simple. The game doesn't get fucking updated. Like, the game would be way lower, like way worse as well if the bot crisis and stuff is still happening, and yeah, sure, that's gone now, and you can actually play the game without getting aimbotted by bots, but even then, the game is not cheater-free, it's just bot-free, so there's still cheaters like roaming around and stuff, and they're also pretty annoying to deal with, but even then, like fucking... the game doesn't get updated. The last update that the game's ever gotten, like a real update, is like fucking Jungle Inferno. And that was when I got on the fucking game. And there's been nothing ever since. And the community fucking updates don't count either, they're just more hats so that fucking game can make more money. But yeah, TF2, I feel like if the game got updated still, it would be not only good, but like easily my top 3 like favorite game of all time. But because it doesn't get updated, I'll put it in a meh. And oh, you're gonna fucking hate me. Next up is Overwatch, and Overwatch is going in kind of okay. Now, I can sense, assuming this video gets to like multiple people, I can probably sense like a lot of TF2 gamers being pissed off, and here's the thing, Overwatch actually gets updates. And not only that, but like, okay, the only reason why I really hated Overwatch was because when they became Overwatch 2 and basically deleted the previous game and made 5v5 like the thing, even though it doesn't even work, and that's been the thing for like years. And obviously there's also them not doing single player as well. That's also kind of shit, but honestly water under the bridge at this point. But here's the thing, they end up fixing the game a lot. The game is back to being Overwatch basically, and it has a lot of cool new shit. And it has a lot of cool new characters, and the fucking healing character isn't just one medic with a medigun who can't defend himself. It's fucking multiple different playstyles and stuff, which I like a lot as well, especially as a support player. But yeah, I feel like Overwatch, like back in the day, like back when it was still Overwatch 2, it would be the worst, like it would be really bad. I think it would be in like a bad tier or worse, but now I think the game has earned a solid spot in kind of okay. And yeah, you're free to argue with that to me in the comments or whatever, but yeah. FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's. Alright. I also have had a massive hate boner for this game. And the reason why is kind of funny. So basically, as you may know, if you've seen my previous videos and stuff, I am a massive horror nerd. And I was not just a horror nerd, I was a fucking elitist about it. Like, I viewed like jump scares and stuff, not just to be like not scary, but as like pathetic and lame for horror games to do. And FNAF, like all the scary stuff, from what I knew, was basically just jump scares. And don't get me wrong, that's what they are, but I was such a fucking elitist about it that I just thought the entire fucking game and all the games and everything just sucked just because of the jump scares. And after like maturing a bit and looking back at the games and stuff, and especially the lore, I don't think it's that bad. Like, I was definitely way too harsh on these, so it's in kind of okay. The metaverse. Who amongst you have actually played the metaverse? Fucking... I know it's basically being a dead horse at this point, but come on. Fucking Mark Zuckerberg fucking spent 80 billion on a fucking thing that's basically VR chat but worse. And it's all just gone because who the fuck plays metaverse? I mean, it's basically dead, so I might as well just put it up in there, but I just wanted to mention it because 80 billion for that. Why are billionaires so stupid? Oh well, that's the tier list, and that's all the games that I hate and hate less or hate more. And yeah, I don't even know if any of you like even watched this video or stuck around long enough, but if you did, hope you enjoyed, and yeah, hopefully I can upload more. See ya.